Hey, I'm Grant Gaines, pastor at Belle Aire Baptist Church. I'm here today with my friend and associate pastor of Belle Aire, Adam Davis. And we're here to talk to you about Back to Church Sunday that's coming up on August 29th. And we're here to celebrate also and talk about why in-person church is so much better than digital, even though digital was necessary for a while. So Adam, thank you for joining me today, man. And I just want to kind of ask you, from your perspective, you're in all kinds of areas of ministry of our church. What's some of the ways that you've really grown to appreciate all the more in-person church versus kind of the strictly online stuff we were having to do during the shutdown?
Yeah, thanks for asking that question. You know, one of my responsibilities is overseeing the life groups, and life groups really focuses on the fellowship and the Bible study with coming together, and that is so important. And I think what we realized over this past year is even though we're thankful for Zoom and being able to do that, it really had to dampen down the fellowship aspect I think that we're able to have with one another. And I think coming back in person with one another is really going to help us be able to have those facial recognitions, even better than that, the physical contact with each other, whether it be a handshake or a hug. And, you know, God didn't make us to be Lone Ranger Christians. I think He meant for us to be in relationship with one another. And I think that's where life groups really stand out in such a way to be able to live life on life with other fellow believers in our church.
Yeah, that's so true. You know, life groups is like our Sunday school or our small group ministry. And, you know, for so long during the shutdown, we weren't doing any of that.
Yeah.
And so just when you have only online worship, even in-person corporate worship is not really enough if you really want to be connected to your church family.
Exactly.
So those life groups, when you're together in a smaller group environment and then getting together outside of class, you know, Melissa and I don't get to go to a life group on Sunday morning because I'm preaching
Really?
in both
I didn't know
services, but we go to the life group get-togethers,
Yeah.
and my wife's involved in a life group, and we've been to two just in the past month in people's homes where their life group was over fellowshipping, and I just can't tell you how awesome that is. Just a shot in the arm to be able to spend time doing fellowship with believers. You know, the early church, it says in Acts 2, was devoted to the apostles' teaching, and the second thing it says was the fellowship. And so I think you're right. Life groups is so important, and so we would encourage you to be involved in a life group at our church. If you've never visited Belle Aire, or maybe it's been a while since you've come to Belle Aire, maybe you haven't come because of the pandemic. This is a time where we're encouraging you to come back and get involved in a life group. Get involved in a small group ministry where you can share what's going on in your life, pray together, spend time fellowshipping with other Christians. That's really important when it comes to living out the Christian life. We need that encouragement. Well, one of the things that we're going to be doing at the end of August, on August 29th, the last Sunday of the month, is we're going to have a big celebration of in-person church, and we're calling the event Back to Church Sunday. So we'll be doing worship. It'll be an exciting celebratory time of worship together. We're also doing life groups on that day. And then after the services that day, out on our lawn, we'll have a picnic and some games for the kids, inflatables, all kinds of fun. And we want to invite you to come to that. So who are we targeting for Back to Church Sunday? Well, this is kind of a high attendance day, if you're familiar with that. And so maybe some of you haven't been back to church because of the shutdown. This is a great time for you to mark on your calendar, hey, this is when I'm going to start going back to church Sunday. Maybe you are a member of Belle Aire and you know of someone who just kind of has fallen by the wayside and has become inconsistent. Maybe not because of the pandemic, but because of just the pace of life having changed so much over the past year or two. And you could reach out to them, encourage them to come back to church. Maybe you're seeing this video somehow and you've never been to Belle Aire, but you're at a place in your life where you know you need to be in church. You know that you need God, a relationship with Him. This is a great time for you to come back to church, maybe to church for the first time, and be with us on that day to worship. So put that on your calendar. We hope to see you there, and we look forward to seeing you very soon.